So what's your second question, please, William?
Second question. Okay, this is a question that I don't hear much of anyone talking about, but what if you were with the dumper, the ex, you're for almost half of their child's life? Would the child get attached to the dumpy enough to think of the dumpy and ask about them at some point?
Okay, that's a really good question. And yeah, absolutely. If the dumpy was with the dumper and the dumper had a child, which wasn't the dumpy's, when the breakup happens, if there has been a sustained period of time together, there will absolutely be that separation anxiety from all sides. I'm sure you missed your ex's child, you know? So the child is also going to miss you. And it can work in your favour in some respects. Like, they can certainly be, you might think to yourself, look, there's nobody in my corner here. There's nobody vouching for me. And what you'll probably find is that your biggest fan is quite possibly that child. Obviously, it depends on how long you were together and the seriousness of the relationship. I know in your instance, it was very serious. You had been in the relationship for over half of a child's life. So the child is going to be attached. And very sadly, I would imagine the child has gone through, some breakup trauma themselves over this, which is obviously very, very sad. But thinking of it from the breakup point of view, that child is going to be in your corner. I'm pretty sure of that. So in answer to your question, quite a short one compared to the first answer really that I'm giving, but I would say yes, there is a very strong possibility that they are going to be sadly suffering from a breakup. But secondly, that would mean that they would be on your side because they will see it as, the dumper, their mum in this instance, has ended the relationship. So the child's going to be thinking, well, you've done this. You've made that decision. You've caused it. And even if she flipped it round and told a lie and said, well, no, it was William. Even if she did that, that is not going to affect the child negatively thinking of you, because then it will make the child think, all right, I wonder why. Was we not good enough? Did I do something wrong? Which is, again, it's not something that you want to hear. But what it basically means is that the child is very likely to be in your corner in trying to reconcile this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, and I don't want to add this, because I don't want to make this question long like the other one, but I guess that would come to the thing of why she so quickly tried to entwine her son with this new guy.
Yes.
And made a post about, how he treats him well and blah, 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 and stuff like that. So,
I mean, that would be, in my opinion, the essence of a rebound relationship, but involving her child. So the way I see a rebound relationship, firstly, it has to happen very soon after the breakup. Secondly, and most importantly, they have the relationship first and get to know each other second, because they're that desperate to keep certain elements of the previous relationship that they don't want to go through the work. They don't want to build up slowly to that point. So they dive straight in. And then unfortunately what happens, well, or fortunately if you're a dumpy, but unfortunately for the dumper, they dive straight into this relationship. You might see they go on holiday really quickly. They might move in together really quickly. They do these crazy things really quickly. And then they get to know each other. And then they most likely find out they're not compatible. And then it explodes and it ends very, very quickly. Now, that would be a sign with you kind of saying, she's very quickly entwining her child in this relationship. That would be a real clear rebound relationship clue that she's basically trying to mesh them together really quickly and almost unnaturally fast. And that doesn't really bode well. Things take time to build for a reason. So that is why I would say she's doing that. It's quite possibly a sign that this relationship she went into didn't have the foundations to move into. It seemed very, very quick. So I would suggest there is a good chance that that relationship, I mean, unless you know otherwise, because rebounds can evolve. There are instances where rebounds can evolve and grow into something more substantial, but I would be surprised if that lasts a year.
Yeah, they met in November of 2019, near the end, and still together. But as I stated to you before, the 2 months of this lockdown that we had here, I don't think they were seeing each other, because I think that's when it pushed her to unblock me numerous times. The only reason I know that she does is because I'm mutual friends with her cousin.
Okay, and that is interesting. This unique situation we've had with the pandemic, that has really created interesting dynamics, including kind of acting as almost like a pause button on certain relationships, which is quite possibly what happened with hers. But we will have to wait and see. Although when I say wait, I certainly don't want you just kind of waiting around. I just mean, from the perspective of, we will have to kind of just see what happens. But I certainly would like to see you moving forward with your life, of course.
I'm moving forward. I'm not waiting around. I'm like you're saying, I am curious, and it's intriguing, and it's like, I kind of wanted to reach out, but at the same time, I don't know if I really want to go back,
Yeah. And that's perfectly natural to have those different kind of feelings bouncing around for you. So yeah, what's question number 3, please?